Hello, how are you doing? This is Pixie. I am doing fabulous. Still OMADing, and that's really probably one of the things I talk about. It's lovely and sunny, it's perfect. If you're going to incorporate a dry fast, lovely weather for that. Or even if you're just going to have a water fast, because you'll be drinking lots of water and you probably won't fancy eating much, to be honest. So the internal mechanism for dry fasting is that your body can produce water from its fats. It contains hydrogen, extra hydrogen atoms in your fats that can be released and combined with oxygen to create water in your body. I'm wondering what the impact would be of taking, what did I take before? Hydrogen peroxide, a little bit of that extra in the water. I can't remember if it added extra oxygen to water or if it added extra hydrogen. Now it's extra oxygen, I think. Yeah, it might be worth an experiment. So I'm still losing weight. It's very strange though, because you'll lose a certain amount of water weight. You realise that most fats like jelly, it's got a lot of water in it. And if you want to reduce that, you have to reduce the water in it. And by dry fasting, your autophagy will increase, and you'll get into ketosis, I reckon, within 24 hours, then 48 hours, because of the extra internal stress. And it's about really training the body to cope with certain internal stresses, and it becomes more effective then. I think the reason people take coffee, black coffee, maybe tea as well, is the diuretic effect it has, and that is what speeds up the fasting process. So dry fasting should be incorporated in your regime. And I guess technically it is, because you don't drink at night. Or you might do if you get up and you say, well, I can only drink water, but I can't do any other fasting. You can't do any other form of eating or stuff like that. I mean, I've done it where I've had to sleep this night, so I've eaten like a yogurt. I do fancy a yogurt actually, but I'm just resorting on my own body, and the extra heat is dehydrating me quicker, so it should in theory cause a greater weight loss, but also technically the possibility of a weight gain if I start drinking water. So I was at 17-12, and then I went back up to about 18, and that was because I drank a pint of water and I ate 2 bacon sandwiches, which had consisted of 3 bacon, 3 eggs, 4 bits of bread, and I cooked it in lard. And then what I did with the lard, I poured it onto the bread, and then I had sauce in it and stuff, and I just chopped the bread up with a knife and fork and ate it, because I thought there's no point wasting good fats, so you might as well just add it onto the bread. I mean, I think I look good, so I did have a bit of a shave. I need to get better razors actually for it. And that's one of the things, you think, oh, I'll get fat under here, you might grow a beard to sort of cover it up, but when your jawline comes in a bit more, you might think, well, I can actually just shave it back a bit more. My hair seems to be growing pretty fast as well, which is pretty interesting. Anything else? No, I mean, every other function's fine. You might find yourself producing a lot of saliva, and it just sort of goes round. You might feel a dry sensation in your throat, but that's probably to do with your thyroid and cleansing and stuff like that. So, as mentioned in my other video, drinking water still needs to be digested, so therefore, just checking it, squeezing behind traffic, therefore the body will go through certain processes, and it also, you know, when you have coffee and stuff like that, it stops your hunger, because your body knows it's got some sort of calories in it, and so it's not a true fast really. You're just avoiding triggering insulin responses, This supposedly improves the cycle. I'll have to check exactly when the best times to take coffee. I do love to coffee. It's just I'm being quite kind of almost religious with it. Faith in fasting to get me there, and it's working. I mean, if I'm losing a pound a day, potentially, and some of that's water related. I don't mind sponging back up, like absorbing lots of water. I'm just seeing what I can reduce it by first. I mean, usually your body just has a switch off. It says, no, I've had enough now. So I've had a pint of water as well, and I think they just got all absorbed. And now it's just getting dehydrated through my skin. It's just drying out. And the other thing as well, I call it hydrogenesis, when your body starts making its own water and becoming more efficient around fluid loss and gain. And so with the hot weather, you have to become adapted to deal with that environment. Otherwise you might find yourself getting tired or heat stroke. It's just because it's difficult for your body to maintain and regulate your systems. If you're stressed and you're in the heat, definitely. So other things as well, I think you can get with dry fasting and autophagy. It also extends to the brain. If you've got damaged brain tissue from head injury or from a condition such as maybe possibly MS or something else, then there's a possibility of some repair on it. And so at least you have a mental and brain function. You should be fine. But what you might lose is memories. You might have to relearn things, which is a small hurdle really. Or if you get back everything you've had before. And the other thing is that inflammation on dry fasting would be a lot lower because you haven't got the fluids. But if you do put a lot of fluids in and you are in a state of inflammation, you may quickly swell up basically, and your body might react quite more severe because you're having a yo-yo. You're putting lots of one thing in and drawing lots out, so it can have that effect. I mean, if you have had a big dry fast and you're trying to recover, maybe soaking in, and you want to do it slower, maybe soaking in a bath. Just soak in a bath. Don't make it too hot because you don't want to lose loads of oils. You might want to open your skin up and just soak and relax in it, and your body will naturally start to rehydrate itself from the water in there, and it will hydrate all over. So it's not going to be should be a mass swelling of your limbs and all sorts of things. And then you can hydrate your skin, hydrate your body, and so you could put a little bit of Himalayan salts in there, bath salts, into the mix, so you get all the benefits for your skin, and then you can move on to having some fluid intake. I don't have to worry too much. People are always panicking, I'm going to break my fast with something really small or this and that. In a survival situation, you won't have the luxury of taking ages eating food. You would need to, you might eat things first because it's easier to digest. What the hell? And then you'd move on to things a bit more difficult to eat. Some things are slow digesting anyway, so there's no biggie really with them. So basically, you'll find a way. That's the answer. Nature finds a way. And the other difficulty you'll find is critics. Critics don't want you to change. That's what it is. And sometimes they don't want you to succeed. Family members don't want you to improve beyond them. You may be rejection with some of their cultural beliefs. It's like if you say you don't need to take vaccines, people are like, well, yeah, I take vaccines. Or it may be that you say you skip a meal and think, well, I have 4 or 5 meals a day. Well, they say, no, they're not meals, they're snacks. So I have like 3 meals, but then I'm eating biscuits and having lots of cups of tea with sugar in it. Well, that's not a meal. That's just tea and biscuits. And the reality is, it's just an uneducated approach to consumption of food. So my mastery is just basically combining things, observing things, and learning things. So when I go to bed, I don't drink. When I don't eat in my bed, I sleep mainly, and that's it. That's the main. That's you know, there is no secret really. And then there's all this stuff about you got to have salts and stuff and so on. So yeah, my parents totally reject the idea of fasting. They think it's some kind of insane pseudoscience that's going to make me ill and get me killed. And I explained to them, look, I'm trying to lose weight. I'm healthy. I feel fine. I was watching a video by Thomas DeLonghi, I think that's his surname, or DeLonga, and it's brilliant. And then they were saying, well, no, who's this idiot listen to? I said, listen to him. Look, does he look unhealthy? I mean, if he was unhealthy, then I wouldn't be listening to him. It's simple as that. So, yeah, absolutely. I also, C-Dub, I think that's watching your videos as well, so they're quite good as well. So, yeah, I did take it all in, and yeah, it's really good. It's really good stuff, to be honest. So, I'm just having an ordinary meal, basically. That meal was all I'm having. Before I was loading it up with like a million eggs and sausages and got to get all the calories in, but I realised I don't have to. A lot of the stuff is being recycled in my body, and so I'm not really losing as much weight as I thought I would do now, because, well, actually with the dry fasting, to be honest, I'm quite impressed, but it's more complicated now. It's just understanding it. And with the autophagy, it's basically become more active, and as a result, it's more difficult, I think. But I'm still a heavy weight. I'm still 18, sort of 18, between 18 and 17, 12 at the moment. Some lads ahead of me. They're just riding up the middle of the road. 1 mile an hour. Better safe than sorry, I guess. There we go. So take advantage of the weather conditions, and the other thing to be aware of, have a look at people, different countries, how people eat, how people behave. So let's take Europeans. I've heard that Europeans like to have 2 meals a day, and they sleep in the midday. They do the most work in the early morning, and the hot weather probably means they're going through a lot more dehydration. And now dehydration is just a process. So you're dehydrating your body because of your exposure to heat or the environment, and it's a natural occurring process. When you're considered dehydrated, you're probably at the point where you can't go any further, so you should really have another term for that. Like you're hydro deficient or something, I don't know, a deficiency. And I mean, salts and stuff are important, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it doesn't play a role, I'm just saying the issue is we all believe that because we've heard something said. If you're doing a lot of exercise and you're sweating, salts come out your skin, so naturally putting them back in, probably a good idea. And this is why the only issue you get with, say, bodybuilder types, they're very good, have a great knowledge on physiology, nutrition, but they don't necessarily practice a lot of fasting. So they might fast maybe 1 day or so on. They've got an understanding of it at a level, but they haven't gone through to a point like, say, does it impact on your sex drive? How does it affect your sleep patterns? And because if you haven't done it long enough, you won't really notice. And with sex drive, there's no issue there at all. It might even go up, to be honest, because your body's got less toxins, and you're just basically more primed hormonally, and you're more focused. And I think that the brain regenerations, that's important. That's why Alzheimer's repair there, see, that's where that's connected into it as well. And with the increased autophagy, then it's even better. So it's nuggets of information to share, especially if you know people that have health conditions. There's always, but they've got to be in the club. You know, if you've got secrets, you can share them with people that actually value them. That's really what it is. It's not, I don't want to tell you a secret, not because it's something private I know and it's got a secret, but it's got a value to it. It's not that. I want to tell you something that you're going to value, because there's no point telling you if you're just going to say, I don't believe fasting it works at all. I believe in going to Weight Watchers. I believe doing it. Fine. I mean, these are all different methods, social methods of mixing people. You may lose some weight, but long term you've got to make life changes. And if you want to go on a sort of a point system, makes you sort of validates you in some way, or allows you to eat whatever you liked in the first place, because this is a naughty day and this is a good day, or this is good food, naughty food, and all these sorts of beliefs, then that's fine. It's entirely up to you. I mean, how it's going to work for me is I'm going to get myself down to the prime weight, and then I can eat whatever I bloody like. I can eat how many times I want. I can eat it whenever I want. I will have to obviously keep a discipline, it's high discipline. So the majority of my lifestyle will be revolving around the one meal a day and not taking in any much fluids. While I'm losing weight, at a later date I can take in fluids, but between just drinking tea and coffee I can normally do. I won't drink any fluid I like, because I've reached a level where I'm not quite happy, so I'm not looking to lose extra weight or anything. And that's that. And I think also it's a good thing to showcase. If you're in a situation where you want to say to the world, look, this is the new me, or you want to show personal improvements, triumphs over things, self-mastery, all the sexy things as well that you want to see in a person. You think, shit, this man's lost 4 stone, he's on fire, he's focused, he's going places, and you know that. What does that say to a person? They think, fuck me, I should have really stuck around. And it may do. It might say, hello, how are you doing? But then you might say to yourself, hang on, I've grown. I've actually grown out of the interest of this person. So, you know, they might be sort of like, oh, well, yeah, it's nice of seeing you and stuff. I might say, hang on, it really is good to see you, but I'm quite a busy person now. So your whole attitude and ethos might change. And that's quite a big step forward inside, because when you're in that situation, you thought, well, I would have said yes to everything a month ago. Now I'm quizzing myself, or I've got a decision where I want to go, or what I want to do, or I don't need a person in my life, or I do need a person in my life. You'll be aspiring to wherever you want to be in your life. So that's important to take in. Anyways, please sign off and have a great day.